This is Brotherhood of the Wolf 2001, done in the style of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is also English dubbed, a movie that came out in 2000, a year before.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It's not a film I've ever even heard of.
The movie itself has a very nice style. I like the camera effects mixed with the computer generation. The narrator is reflecting on the past. This movie is taking place in France.
Nowadays you could do that with an FPV drone, but back then I think you were either on a airplane, maybe a helicopter.
This woman is clearly running for her life. The stunt work is very gritty. Here she's definitely trying to run and hide from something. Here we see a lot of strife and villainy in the land. And these are most definitely our two heroes of the movie.
So these guys are dressed up as women?
Probably a traveling circus, most likely.
Nice little bonnet. So this took place in 1760. So New France was a colony still, just barely though.
The fighting's not bad. It's not over the top. Somewhat realistic to the period. Clearly our heroes have traveled long and far to gain their skills. So these two have traveled to this region to help solve the mystery of this beast that's causing trouble in the area. So our hero's name is Frozak, and his companion, played by Mark Dacascos, is named Manny.
These are some very long takes. Oneers.
They are. They're very well put together.
Yeah.
I like the effects. How it's all mixed together. The editing is very sharp. The acting is solid. And this is the woman that we saw. There is some nudity in this movie. This movie also has a slight sense of Sherlock Holmes, as well as a little bit from Sleepy Hollow from Ichabod Crane and the version with Johnny Depp. So this wolf-looking creature also somehow has spikes on its back. I like how they don't show the creature right off the gate. They actually keep it very mysterious. This actor was also seen in Ocean's 12. He was the character who dodged the laser grid. And here we have our main hero's first glimpse of his future love interest. So they're hunters, explorers, investigators, travelers, all rolled into one, with some military experience.
The water must be very cold.
What is that?
Mark Dacascos in real life actually is a real-life samurai. Practices regularly. Also further to mention that he actually does all of his own stunts. He's certainly somebody who doesn't go over the top like some other actors. Everything he does feels very natural. He even fought Keanu Reeves in John Wick. All of the people he's fighting here are traveling gypsies. The fighting in here definitely seems very grounded. No fear whatsoever. He's just sizing everybody up. Like with the eyes in the back of his head routine. Wasn't exactly necessary for him to shoot the guy.
No. I guess it's better in the arm than in the head, though. It's quick, the handle. Wraps around your arm.
Well, it's because he only has one arm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has silver bullets to sign his shots. The setting is very, very nice. Not over the top. Their sets are so natural, you could tell that they're just real locations. Slightly modified, of course.
The Knights Templar. Yeah, they were eradicated from France.
And here's Monica Bellucci, being Monica Bellucci. The set props in here are definitely artistic. And we have a very interesting transition from Monica Bellucci's body into the hilly mountainside of France. He's very thorough. There are elements of Sherlock Holmes in here. He isn't as eccentric, but he's very thorough.
No animal has fangs of
Apparently, this creature has steel teeth. The visual effects in here are very nicely put together. Doesn't feel out of place, doesn't feel blocky. It's all very artistic. Here we get to see the first glimpse of this creature, a guy that looks like Leatherface.
That animal is not the beast, and you know it. Good God, its jaws are 2 times the size of these.
But you have all you need here to fix it.
So the guy wants to make a fake creature to bring back to the king.
This book is so dark, King.
So this book is detailing a secret order to undermine and overthrow the king. The movie's kept much more in a very realistic tone. It isn't overdone with CGI. There's a good deal of mystery here. The characters are actually rich enough to actually care about. The sets and the scenery are basically their own character themselves.
Yeah, this movie does portray the sceneries very well. Makes you feel like you're there. This one feels like there's quite a lot of landscape.
Clearly, they have set a whole bunch of traps for the creature, and the creature is able to take all this damage. It still gets injured and slows it down a little bit, but it's way too powerful. Keep in mind the traps that they've set, they're unable to withstand the creature because everything's just made out of wood. They're out in the wilderness, they really just don't have the time or the resources. Here he is going off on his own. Probably not one of the best ideas. You can tell these dummies are set up for multiple people to just train against attacking soldiers. Frosak is going full Rambo here.
Oh, they're the ones printing the books. Cool.
This is the Brotherhood of the Wolf, the organization trying to overthrow the king. It's a political move from higher-ups. A creepy political cult. I like how that the Brotherhood here isn't exactly just completely religious, typical, but it's politically based. In summary, Brotherhood of the Wolf is a long movie. It's very character-driven. It has a great deal of mystery, a little bit of suspense to it. I wouldn't exactly classify it as a horror movie. A little bit of a creature movie, however. The effects in here, some of them were CG. Not all of it was overkill with it. When we actually had the CG, it felt very natural. Considering how old the movie was back in 2001, the effects with what they had to work with. Not really sure what they had for a budget for this movie, but I felt it was all very well. I felt it was clean. It didn't feel jumpy. It didn't feel rushed. It was very well put together. The characters were very interesting. I actually cared about them. The villains you actually really like to hate. The story itself, it's interesting. It's enough for it to carry you. It can feel a little bit long, but I feel that this was a very good movie. I really want to give it a 9. What do you think?
I enjoyed watching a lot of the scenery that they filmed. The French countryside really is beautiful. I've always been intrigued with the history of Europeans and the indigenous people of America commingling, and usually we hear stories of the Europeans over here in America, but we hardly ever hear stories of the indigenous over in Europe. And so it was fun to see a story with indigenous peoples in Europe. I know that Mark Dacascos may not actually be Native American at all, but he does have Chinese, Japanese, Filipino ancestry and a few other European traits as well. It was interesting to see him play a role of a Native American. I felt that the martial arts was a little out of place, but it was still fun to watch, and I don't think it really detracts. But I can't speak to the accuracy of Native American fight styles. And I suppose if he is supposed to be a Mohawk from the Quebec region, he would be known as a First Nations person. But nevertheless, it was an interesting portrayal of a character from the Americas in Europe.
Considering the movie's length, I didn't feel that it was boring. I felt that the story was just progressing at a very steady pace. I like the elements in here that actually sway you to believe that there's actual magic happening, like a kind of a sorcery feel to it, which can somewhat highlight a possibility that that's what these bad guys are, in a sense of what their power is. But I feel that the mystery itself was a very nice element to this movie. It works very appropriately.
I think that overall the voice dubbing was pretty well done for most of the characters.
Monica Bellucci, I know for a fact, that was her voice, especially in the English version. She just has that voice that you get from the Matrix movies, and she was also one of the Bond girls in Spectre. This movie actually had its own elements working for it. This movie actually had its own different kind of style, with a different director in a different country altogether.
If this movie had come out now, I would have said, hey, that's not cool that you're copying from Marvel. But if this movie came out over 20 years ago, before all the Marvel movies, then it's like, interesting. So they were doing this before.
It was very nicely done. It felt very original. It didn't have the appearance of just being a computer-generated debacle, where it was just, okay, was that good CGI or bad CGI? This felt natural, even with wires, and it's something that not a lot of people like to mess with nowadays.
I like that throughout the movie, there were little interactions that later on revealed their importance. The main character was definitely more of a detective in this movie than I was expecting.
You get subtle clues throughout the movie that do come back in the end, where you get these parts of the story that all just come together. It all stacks up in the end, where you can finally get the finished product. You have gone through this journey of exploration and discovery to figure out who the villains are and all their motives, all their powers per se, and it just feels very original.
I think one of the most interesting tales or fables that this movie portrays is the idea that the people in power want resolution, whether it's truth or not. Like with the whole killing the beast, they could, it doesn't matter if it's a fake wolf doctored up. We just need the story to go away. We don't care if it's a real creature. We just need to produce an enemy or produce a villain, produce a beast, and then not report on it anymore. We killed the beast. The story's over. Move on.
This concludes the Brotherhood of the Wolf. Thank you for watching, and catch us on the next one.